Welcome to Social Work Sunday Tea. I am Shakia Houston. It is January 24th, 2021. It's a great day to be alive and well. Um, we're here. We're live. Make sure that you share, and you subscribe to our YouTube page. It's greatly appreciated. Yeah, just go on over to Facebook and share, YouTube, share, whatever way you do it. Today we have a special guest here, Miss Jasmine. If you can just introduce yourself, let me know. Oh, everybody, let me know if you're here in the comments. Let me know, like, hey, give me a hey, thumbs up, something. Let me know you're here. But Miss Jasmine, if you can introduce yourself and we can get started.
Okay, hey guys, I am Jasmine Ray. I am a master level clinician. I have been a therapist for the last 2.5 years. I've been in mental health for about 7 years now. I'm really excited about Social Work Sunday Tea and to be able to kind of join and talk about some things today. I primarily work in an outpatient clinic, but I also do some private practice on the side, and I've been doing that for a little while. I am a trauma-informed therapist, so I primarily work with clients who have significant mental health concerns as well as trauma concerns.
Absolutely. I was going to say amen. I'm still on church. But no, that's awesome. That's awesome. What made you get into mental health? What made you get into this field of study?
I think a lot of it came from childhood, wanting to be a helper and kind of always just falling in the line of being a helper. I'm the helper within my friend groups, and people tend to be able to kind of just talk to me. When I was really young, I wanted to be a doctor. And that just kind of transitioned into like, oh, there are other ways that you can help. There are other ways that you can be a servant. And I became a counselor.
Oh, wow. So what school did you go to?
So I graduated from the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, because I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So go Mocs. But I am a diehard TSU fan because I went there for about 3.5 years. And that's where the instrumental part of me and my friendships and stuff developed. So I love me some Big Blue.
Yes, go Big Blue. We're here. Yes, absolutely. So what made you want to like get into trauma? I'm still here though. My camera doing the most, but I'm
I think so. For me, it kind of came about with the organization that I currently work for, the outpatient mental health clinic that I currently work for. It's community based, so a lot of the young people look like me and interact like me, and so I really wanted to be able to bring more trauma focused, informed care to my particular community, but communities all around as well. Also, just growing up where I grew up, seeing a lot of trauma and having some generational trauma, I just wanted to be able to shed a light to it and give an opportunity for other people to have a safe space to kind of process that.
Absolutely. So what exactly do you do in your field? Like it's on a day-to-day basis. Let everybody know.
So day to day, it's really interesting for me because I, for one, work 2 jobs, but in my typical 8 to 5 life, I am a program director for First Episode Psychosis Initiative. It's a program called On Track, so it is something you can look up. I work with young adults between the ages of 15 to 30 who are experiencing a first-time mental health crisis with some type of psychosis. So these are your future people who could develop schizophrenia or schizoaffective. And so I do that. I manage a team of 5. And I also do some part-time, private practice work. And so I do that in the afternoons and usually on Saturdays. So it's real busy. And with the pandemic, things have definitely increased, which has been good. I've been grateful that people have wanted to reach out to get, mental health help but it's definitely required me to up that self-care a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. When we taking care of people, like, you know, counseling, things like that, we got to take care of ourselves as well. Self-preservation is everything. At the end of the day, if we can't take care of ourselves, how can we take care of somebody else? So that's very, very much so important. Also, let's you know what, let's just dive into our topic. The topic of today is the ending of a friendship. So I want to give a definition of what is a friend. Webster's dictionary: a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection. Also, one has what is this other definition? Okay, someone who has your back no matter what. They watch out for you, ensure that you are not in danger. They will never purposely lead you into making a decision that isn't good for you. A friend will always have your best interests at heart. So that's the definition of a friend. Donny Hathaway's song "You Got a Friend." I just want to quote some lyrics real quick, just to, you know, get a clear understanding of how he described a friend. When you're down in trouble, you need some love, some love and care. Nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me. And as soon as I will be there to brighten up your darkest night, you just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, fall. All you have to do is call, and I'll be there. You got a friend. Dionne Warwick, that's what friends are for. Hey, everybody, that's what friends are for. I want to do the hook. I guess the vamp. Keep smiling, keep shining. Know that you'll always count on me for sure. That's what friends are for. For good times and bad times, I'll be by your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. So they give a description of what is a friend. But today I gave you a definition of what is a, you know, what's a friend. Our definitions of a friend. What is your definition of a friend?
Heavy on the loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy on the loyalty. And someone who is patient and understanding, wants me to grow just as much as they want to grow. Someone who is dedicated to that growth for me. But I am super heavy on the loyalty. Like when I think of my friends, that's what I think of. People who are loyal, regardless, and who don't mind calling me out. They'll let me know, sis, you're wrong. And I appreciate that, because that means that they want what's best for me. You know, someone who genuinely cares about you and want what's best for you. And I got praying friends, and so I appreciate that as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Same thing. Loyalty. You know, I know that when I call on you, if the circumstances, you know, permits itself, you come running. I know for me as a friend, I just have. We'll talk about the different levels of friendship. I guess a little bit the different levels of friendship where me as a friend, as an individual, when you call me, hey, if I'm not in the middle of something, I'm coming. Or if I can't be there, you know, I might come a little later, but I'm gonna be there. You know, it's just I'm gonna be persistent, and I'll also have them to know that, hey, I'm there. Period. Point blank. Like when you wrong, we're gonna be wrong together. I'm like, okay, whatever's going on, and then pull you to the side, like, hey, you know you're doing right. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, call you out on you know what's going on. And I think that's so important these days, because you got a lot of friends, well, people that say they're your friend, but they're really, really not. It's just different levels of friendship. You got associates, you got, you know, semi-friends. I don't know, I made that up, but you got people in the middle, then you got people you know for a shadow of a doubt that they're coming. You know, I got a friend that, you know, I call her, I'm in trouble. She coming. I ain't gonna tell you what type of stuff she'll do, but I know she's coming. You know, just majority of my friends, I am what they are to me. You know, yeah, and you want that to be reciprocated.
Absolutely.
And so what causes? I'm kind of diving. What are some of the reasons for a breakup? my friend Patrice, she said chainsaw in hand. Like she will come with a chainsaw, no question asked. Like my mom be like, "Oh my God, yeah, that she's coming." You know, and you need friends like that.
Absolutely.
You need somebody to like having a friend. What does that do to you mentally? Oh, that's it.
I think it's like a safe haven. You know, there are things, and I smile because I really think about my friends when I, think about this, but there are things that they know about me that I don't even think I knew about myself until, and it's a safe haven. It's an opportunity, to be able to just lay it out and to give it as straight as possible. And there's no question about, I think one of the biggest things, there's no question about whether or not I'm going to hear my business from somebody else who I didn't tell it to.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And that's the powerful part for me. It's like, oh, this was a sacred space for you too.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah. And it's funny that you said that. It's like that safe haven, like that safety zone. Like I know I can be vulnerable with you. I can lay it all out and say, hey, and I know you ain't gonna judge me. You know what I'm saying? You like, that's how I feel. Or they be like, yeah, okay, but we gonna pray on that, or we gonna try to, I'm gonna help you through it. Someone said true to have a Sharice, to have a support system to be that I return. Okay, yeah, to be that I return. Yeah, absolutely. You need that support system. Sometimes friends are more supportive than family sometimes. They come into play, they like Johnny on the spot. Like sometimes no disrespect towards family or nothing like that, but you got these friends that, man, they're like stick closer than a brother.
Right. They're our chosen family. We get to choose them.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't choose them, but for a friend, we handpicked them. Like, okay, it's you got a space in my heart. Like I opened up my heart so I can let you in. So, and I think that's the most hurting part. We kind of like dive over to how does a friendship end? So, and how does it end? How does a friendship end when it's 20 years, 30 years? What is it? What causes that? That's trauma. Having a friendship, that is so much trauma because you have, they've been through your life. You go through all these stages of your life, your ups and downs, you're on the ski slope, you all, you just go through all these formalities, people passing away, they're there. And someone said a friend is a strong word. It definitely is, because you can't use it lightly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, yeah. So how do friendships end?
I think we have to, look at it in the same capacity we look at it for relationships. And sometimes I think that's where people make the mistake with friendships. They don't recognize the magnitude of what that actually means. Absolutely. I agree with that person. Friendship is such a strong word, and it should be taken as such. Friendships end for a lot of reasons. People become jealous. People grow. And that's the part I think that oftentimes is difficult when you have outgrown a space with the person. Earlier I said it's like having a safe haven. Sometimes your safe haven needs to look different. And the people who you have, traditionally had inside of it, or who have held that space for you, they can't provide it anymore, and sometimes that'll cause a rift and people to end friendships. I know like on a personal level, just kind of growing and getting older, when people start to have children, sometimes that can separate depending on where you are in your career, where you are in your life. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad separation, but it sometimes naturally happens. And then there are those situations where you thought you were being safe with someone and they're holding your tails, and they holding your personal stuff. And then the loyalty isn't there.
Yeah.
And you hearing something that you shouldn't be hearing from somebody that shouldn't know your business. And that happens too. After years of friendship, people just switch up. Maybe somebody else comes into the play, or, whatever the case may be. But I think one of the things that happens inside of ending friendships is the same cycle of grief.
Yeah.
We don't spend a lot of time talking about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about that real quick, because someone said it's grief. Loss of a friend of that amount of time is grief.
Absolutely.
Can we talk about that? Can we dive into that? And what aspect, as far as like grieving? Grieving a loss, that's tremendous. You create this bond, this energy, this time, this space with this person that you thought you were going to be friends forever. And then here it is, it's gone due to the lack of maybe communication or, anything. So what are some of, I kind of like touched on it, but as far as like grieving in a friendship, end of a friendship, how do people process that?
Sometimes I think people have very healthy manners of processing it and they're able to move on. But just like any other grief, sometimes people are angry. They're bargaining with whoever, however, and a lot of times people end up in denial. I didn't expect this to happen. I don't know where this came from. Yeah. I'm not sure what I did. I've heard people literally say those things. Yeah. How did this turn into this? Because when you hold such a space and a capacity for a person and it ends, you don't expect it to turn into something that is no longer there. And so that can cause a lot of anger, that can cause a lot of hurt. Sometimes people grow resentment, and I think that's probably the worst way to go about ending a friendship, because what happens with that resentment is now you want your lick back. You want to try to get even on something that ain't even happened probably, But there are times where friendships end peaceful and people recognize that they're not in the same space anymore, and they can sometimes have a conversation about that. And I think that goes back to what you mentioned, the level of friendships. Yeah. Because while those friendships end, I think they also just kind of take a level down. Yeah. I don't hold the same capacity for you, but I still love you. I still respect you. But we might just not talk anymore. So obviously we're not friends. At this point, we're just back being cordial. But it doesn't always have to be this horrible ending. But most of the time it is.
Yeah. Someone said, I think that real friendship. Can you see that on your end?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, then. Yeah. All right, cool. I think real friendships end when people grow and begin to define friend according to the space where they're grown into. It's only sad when it ends, when it can't end peacefully. Yeah, and it definitely some of the helpful ways to some of the ways people in friendships, they become hostile, they become aggressive, cutting off all contact like cold turkey. I ain't saying nothing to you. Ending a friendship over a text or a chat. Text message is the way of the world now. It's like, I'd rather just, I just text you. I'm done with you. Some of my family members do the same thing, but whatever. Yeah. Enlisting other friends to do dirty work for them. Mm-hmm. Look, it's real. You thought somebody that was your friend and they turn around, they do you dirty.
Yeah, it happens.
They do real dirty. Some of the, let's piggyback back on the reasons why they why friendships end. Circumstances, like you said, your life, Your life has changed, no longer working together, going to the same school, yada, yada, yada. You're not in that same space. Distance, grown distance apart, terms and interests or commitments change. I would say lying, that changed the whole dynamic of your friends. Somebody said jealousy, competition, phony kicking it, ends a friendship. Negativity. Off my notes. Your friends spend more time cutting you down than building you up. So you got the negativity, then you got obligations. A person, you become obligated, an obligated friend, and you really don't feel like, like you become obligated to something. It's more stressful than anything.
Yeah, it's not enjoyable at all,
Yeah.
I tell people that with work, you got to find something that you actually enjoy doing, because if not, it feels rough. Nobody wants to have a friendship in that same light where it feels like I have to be friends, I have to check on you,
Yeah.
I have to reach out to you. It just creates tension.
Yeah, that definitely does. Someone asked a question. If a person is inconsistently on misunderstanding you, what is there to discuss?
I think that makes a good point of like the cutoff culture that we're kind of in right now. If people are not going to understand you and respect your boundaries, and see, that's a whole nother thing that we haven't even touched on with friendship. But if people are not going to respect your boundaries, I absolutely think that cutting them off is something that you should, that's what you should do with anybody who's not going to respect you and who's not going to hold an appropriate space for you. Everything is about reciprocation. So if you're putting out something and that person isn't giving you the same, then absolutely, they don't deserve to be inside of your space. And so, I tell people, if you find that it's healthier to kind of go cold turkey with stuff, then that's kind of your way of doing it. Of course, as a clinician, I always think, like, if we do have an opportunity to communicate about something, let's try to communicate about it.
Yeah.
But if there's no room for that, then don't spend your time going back and forth with people, because that's just going to stress you out too.
Yeah. Someone said lack of support. Lack of support, definitely, because it's like you giving, and the person is taking. That's going to be that's a whole nother topic. Givers and takers. But but definitely, even in a friendship, you have your, you give and you take. A lot of times people don't want to have that conversation, especially when you feel a certain way at that point in time. Like you say, like we said, it's levels to it. You feel like a person is not valued, you don't feel value in your friendship. I think you do need to have that conversation, have that talk, as you would say, and say, hey, I feel this way, or I feel that way, and communicate that. But then it's like, okay, if they don't understand me or they don't want to understand me, it's like, okay, so why am I having this conversation? And then sometimes you have the narcissistic friend where they're never, ever, ever, ever in life is wrong. They're never wrong.
Absolutely.
Again, therefore, you're just like, okay, so it's you want to play victim and you want to switch everything around as if I've done something when I'm coming to you about what's going on with me, why I feel this way, and I think that's a lot of reasons why people shut down and go cold turkey. Like, oh, okay, this is what you want. Everybody want to play victim, but let's analyze and let's talk about what you have done. What I mean? Not saying that I'm perfect, but this is what you made me feel. And identifying that this is what you make me feel, then let's address it. But a lot of people, and this is where you said the boundaries come into place. Like, okay, if you don't want to respect my boundaries or respect what I have to say, then we're not gonna make it.
Right.
Yeah, we're not gonna make it. Are you reading some of the comments?
Yes, they got some good stuff going.
Go ahead.
So I think the cutoff applies with lack of growth as well. I feel if I'm growing in life and I'm giving you that hand up to go with me, but you're comfortable staying stagnant, sorry, not sorry, I have to cut off. Absolutely. please don't hold on to people who are not in a place to move forward.
Yeah.
Because what ends up happening is you then become stagnant with them and you become resentful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we all know what it feels like to, be resentful. It creates this anger. It creates this anger and this, disgust for the entire situation. Yes, it is perfect. I think that's a boundary. Learning when and how to cut people off is a boundary. People often think that boundaries are about being mean and cold, and I tell people all the time, boundaries are probably one of the kindest things you can do for yourself and others.
Yeah.
It's teaching people how to love and to care for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to bring up this other comment. You can go off and read it.
Also, are we loving, valuing our friends in their love language? Okay, sis, because a lot of miscommunications can also come from that area as far as the give-take comments.
Ooh.
Love language is a whole thing.
That's a whole discussion.
I pair it oftentimes with attachment styles.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Hand in hand.
Okay. Explain what that means.
So, a lot of people don't recognize how they attach to people. If they have a secure attachment, a dismissive attachment, an anxious attachment, and I think that comes from a place of not recognizing how influential those beginning years were. And this is a trauma thing, but those beginning years of how mom and dad took care of you, or whoever your caretakers were, how you attach to them, it reflects inside of your relationships. Now, obviously, we grow and we learn stuff along the way, but those core values are still there. And so if people don't recognize how they're attaching, it becomes very difficult to speak a love language, especially doing it effectively. And so, yes, I will send you articles on attachment. I got you. It's been something that I have really been digging into lately, doing a lot of research, and really trying to help people understand love languages. Obviously, there are the 5 love languages, and that's all good and fine. Learning those, reading the book, doing the work, I completely believe in it. But you also have to look at, how am I attaching to people? Because if I can speak their love language and they can understand it, but if they are dismissive attachment, honey, you're gonna feel like you're being stonewalled, and that doesn't feel good. So we really got to learn how to, are we attaching properly? Do we have a secure attachment? And what does that look like so that we can implement those love languages?
Wow.
But I will send something. I will figure out how to comment and link something.
Yeah, you comment, link, go on the page, and what's up. Yeah, that's really, really good. I never thought about it in that way. I'm like, when you say it, I'm like, okay, that connects. Like we can love language all day, but if we're not identifying the attachment, then it's kind of like you said, it's kind of like running into the wall. Like,
it's like, thank you for loving me how I said, but I still don't feel attached to you.
So it's more of a connection.
It's more of a connection, helping people understand how those formative years kind of have developed their attachment and recognizing ways to strengthen. Because just because you end up in one pod, let's say you're more dismissive, your attachment style, that's not who you are. Everybody can grow, everybody has an opportunity, but you need to be able to recognize that. And what I found is, a lot of us have anxious attachment. We don't want to be left. We don't want, and so what ends up happening, if you're really anxious about something, chances are you do a little bit of self-sabotage. And I know that's a whole nother thing that you're going to be talking about at some point, and I can't wait to tune into that. But that's what happens if we're anxious about something. We're like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, let me back up, And so I think people have to kind of look at that too. How am I attaching so that I can make sure these love languages are what they need to be? But absolutely, kind of piggying back off of ending friendships. If you're not speaking to me in the manner or loving on me in the manner that feels conducive to growth, it could end us. you know.
It definitely can. I've grown to love me so much that I don't explain boundaries that I created to protect my peace in no relationship, friends or family. Does that mean I'm too detached? What do you think?
I think there's obviously a gray area because I don't know, too many details, but just based off of that, self-love is so important, and it's so important for us to be able to have a peace about ourselves. And that's when you've really reached the height of self-love, when you have a peace about yourself. It doesn't really matter what's going on around you. I think explaining your boundaries is something that you don't necessarily have to do, but I do think you have to give an opportunity for people to understand what those boundaries are. So you can do that through action, by saying no, by creating space. People need the opportunity to learn, because by being able to learn, that's how we grow. None of us want to be stagnant, so you have to kind of foster some of that. So I think it's fine that you don't tell people what your boundaries are, as long as you're giving them an opportunity to learn them through some type of natural, scenario. If you're saying, no, I don't want to go hang out, if they can't respect your no, then obviously they're violating your boundary. And I think it's completely fine to protect your space in that sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's good. Come on, Jazz. Get us together. Like, you're ending the friendship. We talked about having that talk. What are some, and I'm going to ask the audience, like, what are some reactions some of your friends may do? I just want to see in the comments. Y'all let me know.
Yes, let us know.
They know, so they know, because y'all giving us life on there, got us working and thinking like, oh, okay, let's do this. Yeah, let me know what are some of the ways some of your friends react when you end a friendship. I know they're very defensive, very, very, very defensive. They want to play victim. They don't understand why the friendship ended.
Yeah.
I don't know why me? What do you mean?
I've gotten that one a lot. Like, I'm like, are we having the same conversation?
Same. Oh, defensive, narcissistic. Yep, absolutely. Try to manipulate you back into a friendship. Like, that's kind of like a relationship. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can work it out. Yep.
We can work it out. Yeah. Those are some of the surprise. Yes. Oh my God, not me. You acting funny. They play the victim. I've been there. I've been here for you. Ain't been nowhere. Y'all ain't been nowhere.
Right.
You call them out on it, they be like, what are you talking about? I've been blamed for friendships ending because I called them out on their BS.
Good for you.
Yep. Look, we ain't got time for this. We getting older, honey. Like, right. I can't. I can't baby you. No, I'd rather call you out. That's what friends supposed to do.
Kids are coddling. I don't want to coddle adults.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What are some more? If you want to read off Jasmine, I'm trying to get my computer to work.
Let's see. I ended a friendship due to this particular young lady being toxic, but she mimicked some things and somewhat mocked things that I do on social media. Oh, it definitely sounds like, I don't know her, but it sounds like she wasn't a friend.
Yeah. So. Oh, after all I did for her. Oh, yeah. Oh, Lord. They mocking people now?
Right. What the childish?
What is it? I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah. What the childish? Or, it's just a lot of things. I was after all I've done for you, or you just gonna up and leave me. Oh, mom, my grandma died. Da, da, da. I mean, people come up with the most to to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
But we set out those boundaries, and we set out that thing. Hey, this is why we're not going to be friends anymore. They were just toxic. They was not saying born toxic, but because of their environment and their situations, but and it kind of like shaped and cultivate their behavior.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
It's unfortunate, but I ain't got time to stay around and try to heal you.
Yeah. Look. Yeah. Yeah. People tend to overstep and operate in a false sense of entitlement. Oof. Y'all laying it on us. Y'all
are giving it to us. Yes, please believe you don't owe anybody anything. In any situations, in any circumstances, friendships, relationships, family members, you don't owe anyone anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's that piece I'm talking about. Like when you get to a place where you recognize that you don't owe anyone anything, people definitely have a false sense of entitlement.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good one, because I don't know where they get that from. Like, what I don't know where they get that from. It just bothers me. And like a lot of people, they just in denial and take responsibility. Oh Lord. A friend was cheating with another friend's family member. No conversation needed. Cut off. You're absolutely right. Yeah. That's some cutoff. Yeah. You ain't nothing else to be said. False sense of entitlement. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just a stressful and draining. It's a stressful and draining thing. I had a friend dismiss me because my life doesn't line up with their religious belief. I was upset initially, but as a whole person, I respect her so much for doing what was best for her. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, absolutely. Like you know, that's what you want to do. Okay. Well, it don't coincide. It don't, line up with, as far as our friendship goes. And, sometimes we just got to learn to accept that and be like, okay, so what are we going to do next? And how do we heal from toxic ending a relationship? Like just ending a relationship, whether it be toxic, verbally abusive, physically abusive, because you got some friends that be fighting each other.
And I think it's so strange. Me and all my friends, we want to fight anybody that hurt us, not each other.
Yeah, absolutely. People think they're the only ones that can come up when there's enough wealth out here for everybody. Look, some friends will steal your own idea and make it their own.
Preach.
Look, like, why? Like, I'm an original copy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good record, not record. I'm a good record. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am the original. I am, God created me to be different. And the crazy part about it, you're just mad because you don't have what I have on the inside of me. And you got your own gifting, but you can't have what God gave me, period. I don't care who it is, what it is. I can't snatch it out of me and give it to you. Oh yeah. I can't do that. And I'm not going to apologize for it. You take that up, God, not me. You about it. And I think that just coming to the acceptance of that and realizing that it's just like, okay, this is what it is, and like when people say, oh, I'm as far as one can come up, like when you win, I win.
Absolutely.
And if I'm winning, you winning. Does that make you make someone a bad friend when they do that? I don't know how to refriend. I don't know how to refriend. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like how to go back. Like, how do I?
No, I don't think
it's necessary to go back. I mean, unless it was a situation. I'm trying to think of a situation that may be appropriate to refriend. I think if things don't come to a complete end, I think it's an opportunity to readjust and grow. So for an example, I had a friend that was like going through a whole lot of stuff, and it, in my opinion, if she sees this, she may be like, girl, that we ain't had no distance. But in my opinion, we had some distance because there was just a lot of stuff going on her end.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't an ending of the friendship though, but we did have an opportunity to kind of like talk about all of that and reconnect. So I did feel like there was like a disconnection
Yeah.
Still my friend, still loved her. Nothing in that realm of things kind of changed, but there was a disconnect. So I think it's an opportunity to refriend or to reconnect if there's a disconnect. Because like we said, people grow and things change and things adjust, and we do have to be adjustable to those things. So if it's really somebody you don't want to lose, it's the same in a relationship. You will learn how to navigate as long as you are protecting your space, your peace, your happiness, then I think that that's appropriate. Absolutely. I hope that answered that question.
Yeah, hopefully. Let me know, Patrice. My sister said a smile is just a frown turned upside down. Right, yeah. There are friends who want to be successful, but not more successful than you than they are. Yeah, I don't want you to one up on me. That's how they feel. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
It's a weird thing.
Man, I don't know I ain't gonna say who raised y'all, but man, but you know what? You can be raised accordingly and the right way. You just come up in your own, you know what I'm saying, your own way. But like, I just never, as a friend, I want my friends to win. If I call you friend, if I'm gonna be there. I want you to, if you're doing success, if you're being successful, then I'm successful too, because I'm right behind you. Like, hey, go girl, I see you. You know what I'm saying? What you need me to do? You want some business cards? You need me to roll out some paper? Something.
Whatever. I mean,
whatever it is.
We always say, like my friend group, if I eat, then we eat. Like there is no you're ahead of me. Like they are my biggest cheerleaders. I am their biggest cheerleaders. If they selling a product, whether I need it or not, I am buying. I wear glasses. My friend was selling shade. She know I'm blind. I bought almost every pair. Like, it's the principle.
Yeah, it's the principle. Yeah, and I think nowadays people lack that principle.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody get I was gonna use a bad word, but everybody get thrown to the wayside, and people shut down from or to be open to making new friends. You got old friends from high school, you got friends from college, and you kind of like, you create this bond with these people, and then it's like, okay, people become suspicious. Like, okay, what you want out of me? What you trying to, what you want from me? And I think that's a bad space to be in. I'm just optimistic, and you just have to prove until otherwise. If you show me your true colors, then I'm just gonna believe you. Period. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you need to share your posts. It's not competition, sister. I'm holding your back, not stabbing you in the back.
Absolutely.
That's gonna be that's another. Yeah, that's a get out my book.
See, that's the whole thing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's
the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of discussions coincide of everything that I talk about, because people are experiencing these things. And so we got to talk about it. So how do we heal from, did we talk about how we heal from ending of relationships?
I think we take the same measure we would take for when we end any kind of relationship. We've already established that friendships are just as important to us as our intimate relationships and everything else. They just obviously have a different dynamic. When anything is coming to an end, when we are grieving anything, we have to allow ourselves the space to do just that. It is okay to be sad. It is okay to be hurt. It is even okay to ask, like, why did this happen? What could have gone different? I think self-reflection is one of the biggest tools to push yourself forward. That's something that nobody else can give you, when you can sit down and actually reflect on where things went wrong or went right or what happened. So just allowing yourself the space.
Yeah.
And once you have done that, love on yourself.
Yeah.
Like, give yourself the love. And I always tell my clients this: we have to give ourselves more grace and mercy.
Yeah.
We want to give it to everybody else.
But
we have to give ourselves more grace and mercy. there is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with ending things that no longer fit where you are.
Yeah.
You don't have to be apologetic about that. So you shouldn't beat yourself up for it, So I think a lot of it is just loving on yourself, recognizing you did the best you could, especially if you did. Now, don't be lying to yourself, but if you did the best you could in that space, then recognize that. And now when you get into a new friendship, and I think that's a whole nother topic, like how to develop friends as you get older, but jot it down. But, once you get to a space where you're ready to get back out there, put yourself back out there, take the lessons that you had inside of that friendship,
Yeah.
and the goal is always to do and be better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's how we heal. We take the time to recognize that it's something that actually needs to be healed from.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And when you do, develop a new friendship, you look at those red flags. Now you know better, you do better, right? So,
right.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. Like definitely, building and loving on yourself a little bit more, showing ourselves more grace and mercy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of times we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
We extend grace to all these people and we don't do it to ourselves. Yeah, that's really good. One should have no regrets if they do what's best for them. Absolutely. Self-love. Absolutely. Yeah, like definitely. So it's okay if the friendship ends. It's okay.
It's okay.
It was probably meant for your good anyway. Because especially if it was toxic. Someone said toxic relationships are hard, but you have to self-love to know what you deserve, and you deserve better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Patrice, don't be having me on here trying to cry and stuff in front of these people now, but it's just just loving on people, meeting people where they are. And it's like, okay, this is, as a friend, this is kind of like what I expect, and vice versa. Like, hey, this is what I'm giving, and I love on everybody. I don't know you from Adam and Eve. Like, I don't know, like everybody, I don't know Jasmine, but I just, hey, you want to come and talk, like I just extended myself, it's just being a little bit more nicer. And then especially if you got good people in your life, don't take advantage of them. Don't mistreat them. Love on them, so so I just really, really appreciate you. Is there any other questions? Patrice, don't be. Girl, I love you too. Yeah, I love everybody on here. I love y'all. Thank you for tuning in for Social Work Sunday Tea. It's really, Jasmine, thank you so much. This won't be the last. This will not be the last time. I think we probably need to do a part 2.
Thank you. Yeah, there were so many subtopics that came up. I am here for it. I appreciate you so much. You exude that love. I felt it immediately. And I can tell by the comments, you got some good friends who love you too. So, and I, speaking of ending friendships, I am excited for the opportunity to build one. So,
yeah, absolutely. I'm like, hold on, I'm coming down to TSU. I'm coming because I ain't missing. Lord, don't stop.
Well, we got a yes. I need a part 2.
Yes, absolutely. Part 2. Look, it's gonna be part 2. It's gonna be in February. We're gonna do it. We gonna do it. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
We're gonna make it happen for y'all because you all asked amazing questions.
Yeah, and I was like, you had me thinking it alive. I'm like, study that
part. Amazing questions, awesome feedback. I'm gonna leak information for sure when we get off of here about attachment for whoever asked for that. I got you.
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody tune in next week. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Social Work Sunday Tea. Make sure you like and follow the page, Social Work Sunday Tea, on Facebook. I'm on Instagram too. Jasmine, how can they find you?
Okay, so I am on Facebook. Just my name, Jasmine Ray, and then I'm on Instagram at mental_diaries. So I talk about mental health on there. I talk about it just in a very general, but also some personal stuff too. And that page is completely open, so you can follow me there. I think those are all my handles. I'll let y'all know when I drop a website or something.
Yes, drop it on us so I can be like, what you got going on? Yeah. So I thank you. Thanks. My mom said great topic. I know that. I know her little hearts. Great job. Thanks, Mom. Oh, I do need to take this topic to Clubhouse.
You do. I agree with that comment. You need to take it to Clubhouse. I'm still there, but I think this would be a good platform.
Okay, I got you. I'm gonna do it. Do it. I gotta. I'm gonna carve out the time to do it. I'm definitely gonna do that. Y'all gonna come on. Y'all gonna join. Jasmine, you gotta join me though. Like you.
I am. You know what? I have to do better, and I told you that from the beginning. I'm like, I have to do better with like checking.
Let me tell you, I had to hunt Jasmine down. I'm like, Jasmine, where you at? I'm giving them a message.
You would think that I stay on social media all the time. I am not on it like that. I mean, I snap. I do snap pretty often, but I really got to get better. So I'm gonna get better.
Yeah. That's okay. I'm like all in your email. You check your email, so I'm gonna email you. I'm like, hey, get together, Jasmine. We got something to do. Oh yeah, just tune in next week. Thank you so much, Jasmine. I really appreciate it. This won't be the last. We're definitely gonna do a part 2, and I'm gonna get on Clubhouse. We're gonna rock out there. Yeah, just every platform. I try to normalize mental health. Is for the culture. Well, it's for the people, it's for the culture. Yeah. And I really appreciate you. I love you, girl. And everybody tune in next week on the 31st. Yeah, we're talking about the topic self-sabotaging behavior. So it's gonna be really good. Yeah. Self-sabotaging. Sabotage. Yeah. So y'all tune in. I'm gonna post that as well. And again, I'll see you guys later. Until next time. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.